Have you ever had your mask fog up mid-dive and now you're just staring at a grey wall of reef and are worried that you can't see anything instead of enjoying that dive you paid so much money for? Well, don't worry. Before this video is done, you'll know exactly how to make sure this never happens again. Hey, Torben here from DIVEIN. I've tested more dive masks, anti-fog tricks, and gear hacks than I can count, and right here I'll break down exactly what you have to do to make sure your mask never fogs up on another dive, ruining a already expensive sport. So whether you're brand new or a seasoned diver, you want to make sure you get a fog-free dive every time, and this video will help you out. So I'll share a few tricks on how to pre-treat the mask and what you need to do right before the dive, and one thing you absolutely should never do. First, let's talk about why mask fogs up in the first place. This is quite simply when warm air from your face or your breath coming out your nose hits the cold mask that's cold from the water. You can kind of see this as if you put a soda on the table, a cold soda on the table on a warm day, condensation will form on the outside of the bottle. That's the same thing that happens on a dive mask, just on the inside, so you can't remove it. Here's the part that most people skip, and this is really what makes your mask fog up, because when you buy a brand new mask from the store, there will be a small layer of silicone on the inside of the mask. This is a residue, leftover residue from the manufacturer, so when they're producing this, a small layer of silicone or oily layer will form on the inside of the glass. It's not a protective layer, it's not something you need, it's just something you need to remove. To get rid of this the right way, the simple way to do that is just grab some standard white toothpaste. No gels, no whitening, no micro beads or anything like that, the small blue colors on it. It just needs to be standard toothpaste because it has small crystals on the inside the toothpaste that will help rub off this silicone layer. So what you do is you take a small size, finger dimple size, put it in each side of the mask or in each glass if it's a dual lens mask, and then start rubbing it. You can either rub it with your fingers or you can take an old toothbrush and just give it a good. Do that for a few minutes, rinse with water, still brushing it, dry it out, repeat again 3 to 5 times. So if you want to make absolutely sure you do it correctly, 5 times. If you're in a rush, do it 3 times. You can set it aside in between if you want that, or you can just do it all in one go. This will remove this layer of silicone once and for all, and you never have to think about it again. But you still have to do something before each dive. I'll come into that later on. There's another way that you can remove this layer, burn the mask on the inside. So you take a lighter and then you put it on the glass and then you burn all of this layer. And as soon as you start doing that, you can see that it's turned black when it's burning off the silicone, and that's an easy way of removing it. And afterwards, you'll brush that off with toothpaste, just wash it off. And that's really fine, except you shouldn't do that. Now, I know when saying that, I can already see the angry comments in there. You know, I've done this so many times and it works. But there's a really good reason why you shouldn't do that. Yes, your instructor probably did it with their mask, and you probably have a dive buddy with 500 dives on their belt who's still doing that and claiming this is good to go, or you've been doing it since the 90s, and this is like, I've never had a problem with it. But there's a few reasons why you shouldn't do this. 1, tempered glass is heat treated to around 600 to 700 degrees Celsius. That's 1100 to 1300 Fahrenheit. This is done to make this glass stronger, more impact resistant. A lighter flame though, it burns at around 900 to 1100 degrees Celsius, that's 1600 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, or even warmer in some sources, depending on where you look on the internet. So when you hit this glass with the flame, it might actually overheat the glass to warmer than it was pre-treated. And this might do nothing, but it might also create small micro cracks on the inside of this glass that you can't even see. But then at some point, when you put some stress to this, when it hits something underwater, or just that pressure of, resistance, this might crack. Another really good reason is manufacturers tell you not to do that. They're literally stating, if you look at any manual for a mask, it will say, don't burn the mask to remove it. They will ask you to use a commercial clean, or they will ask you to use toothpaste. That's what they're saying. Another really good reason for this is your warranty on that mask, if anything breaks, they will throw that out the window if you're burning it because you didn't uphold your end of the deal when buying that one. If you don't care about the warranty, then go ahead. Last but not least, you don't need to. There's no reason to burn your mask because the toothpaste works. I've done this so many times. Last 20 years, I learned when I started diving, use toothpaste. Done it ever since.
I was told not to burn it because the silicone might melt. That's what I've kept in mind. Not because of the glass. Glass is something I learned later on, and what worries me more, because I know a lot of people burn the mask without hitting the silicone. But that's another thing. If you burn the silicone, it will go hard and it won't be as good. Now, I know a lot of people are already typing in the comments, and I do, by all means, please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why burning the mask is better than washing it with toothpaste. I will read all your comments. I'll come back to them because I love the debate of this one, but I do not personally believe you have to burn your dive mask to get a proper defog working. Now, before a dive, you have to do a few things to keep the mask from fogging up. So you pre-treat it with toothpaste, or you burn it if that's what you want to do. But now you're on the dive boat, you're ready to go, you need to do a few things. There's 3 simple ways to do this. There's plenty probably, but I know 3 things and they're quite simple. First one, spit. You spit in each lens, rub it around, wash it out one time, mask on, you're good to go. In the water, back roll, or you can even do this at the surface just before the dive if you have time for that. That's a really simple way of clearing your mask, and this will last for a whole dive. I've done this so many times I can't count. This is what I always do. I prefer this way, to be honest. There is some people on the internet as well saying that you shouldn't spit in it because there's too many bacteria going into the mask and it will mold up. My first mask, I think I had it for 10 years at least. I spat in it every time I went out, never had any mold issues because you wash it out anyway afterwards. So I think that's BS, to be honest. Now, second way you can do this is, and this is done a lot of dive centers as well, where they don't want to be spitting in your mask and then give it to you. So if you have someone, like you're all ready with the gear on the back of the boat, ready to go in, there might be a deck crew who will help you out, and they will use baby soap. And baby soap works really well. Same procedure, spray a bit or drop in a bit of baby soap in, work it around, make sure you hit everything in the mask, wash it out, make sure there's no soap left on because that can hurt the eye. Put the mask on straight away, you're good to go for a whole dive. Now, last piece is the commercially bought defog solutions. I have a few here. So spit, anti-fog, and we have this sea gold, and there are plenty of options out there for that you can use, and they all do the same thing. They keep your mask fog free. One drop in each lens, work it around, wash it out, make sure you get all of it out, put the mask on, done deal. This works just as good as the spit and the baby soap, so why would you buy this instead of just spitting in it? Well, it really depends. Some divers swear using this is better. Some people swear that spit is better. Some people swear that baby soap is better. I've used all 3 of them. I think they work equally good. That's why I spit in it. That's because that works for me. I always have it with me. I forget these. Either it's in my dive kit, inside the dive boat, or on land, or somewhere else. It's not right where I need it when I'm ready to go in. That's why I use spit. But if there is something like this, I might as well just do that. So that's the 3 simple ways. A bonus tip here is, as soon as you treated it, don't rub it anymore. Like, you wash it out, take it on straight away. If you want to rub in, if you think there's something, then redo the treatment, spit in again, drop in again, and then treat it again. If you don't think you did it properly, don't start rubbing a bit and then take it on, because that's for sure the place it's going to condensate there. All right, so now we covered how you pre-treat the mask, what you do just before the dive, and that's basically it. This is such a simple thing. It shouldn't even be this long a video in terms of how you defog a scuba mask. Now, there is some times where you do this or you forget to do it properly and the mask continues to fog up during dive. Don't worry about it. It's real simple to treat that. Open up here at the sides, take the silicone out a bit. This is the same skills that you did when you were doing your open water. Let in a bit of air, work it around so you remove all the condensation, then empty out the water. It's so simple way to do it, and then you can keep on diving for the rest of your dive. This happens to everybody. At some point, you'll pick up a new mask, you didn't get it properly treated, or you're a ballroom mask and it's not done, or just before the dive, you wash it out too much, or you forget to spit and you forget to treat it, and the mask will continue fogging up on the dive. That's a thing we all tried, everybody lives with it, but you can remove it. You have to do it a few times during the dive, that's it. All right, that was all I had for this anti-fog video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, please argue with me if you think burning the mask is the best thing, or if you have your pro tip of like rubbing an onion on the inside will do the trick. I don't know, please share it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you get a lot of fog-free dives.